just got to the job. It's 6:10, but no one else is gonna be here for a while, so I just have to wait now. My guess is I'll probably have to wait 30 or 40 minutes before everyone else gets here. But I either have to get here at 6:10 or I won't be able to get here until 9:10 because of the rules of the road. There's certain roads that I can't drive on during peak traveling hours. So I'm forced to get here super early or 9:30. And Aaron's just pulling up with the counterweights. 7:53. I know that he had to get some things ready as well. Back at the house, he had to take all the Grove cribbing pieces off the Grove cribbing trailer and put it on a different trailer. So I've been sitting here for almost 2 hours, but we still can't do anything because we're waiting for the other grapple truck to show up, and that has all the plywood on it for the driveway. So as soon as that truck shows up, we can start plywooding the driveway. Even if that truck shows up in 20 minutes, I will have saved about 1 hour by coming here early. I don't know if it's even worth it. Just starting to lay out our plywood path here. We actually did a bunch of pruning on this little tree, and we use this. It's actually the perfect tool for the job. I can't believe how well it worked. You can make little cuts on, stuff like this. You could never cut that with a handsaw, but the little nippers, you can do a very nice job. I had to prune that back a little bit because the crane's gonna come in right here. The geese are flying south. All right, it's 8:30, all the equipment's here. We got the counterweight trailer down there. Of course, the Grove chipper truck, grapple truck number 1, and then grapple truck number 2. All right, we've got all 140 sheets of plywood laid down now, and we just have one more steel plate to lay down, and then I'll pull the Grove in here. And we've got this whole area plywooded more than usual because when I pull in here, I'm actually gonna need to crab walk a little bit to get the crane shifted over. But we're putting one steel plate here and another one here. This is gonna be our heavy pick side, and we're going after this big cottonwood tree here. Are you excited to climb?
Yeah.
We got the counterweight trailer backed in, nice and tight. The Grove's all set up. We've got one section of boom out. Getting this trailer, and that was the hardest part, wasn't it? That was a pain in the butt. We had to put these outrigger pads down so we could jump the curb a little bit easier. But man, yeah, that's a heavy trailer. It's hard to get that backed in there. Now what we're gonna do is take the counterweights off, put them on the Grove, and we'll just leave that trailer in there and pull the purple truck out. We can leave that trailer backed up to the Grove throughout the whole job. That way we won't have to make Aaron back it in twice. Aaron, good job though. Good driving. Good morning, YouTube family. Welcome to another episode of Cutting Trees Down with Rion, Spencer, Aaron, Zach, and Felipe. Today we've got a good one. We're gonna be cutting down a big cottonwood tree and some other trees. It should be a pretty good day. We've already got the counterweights on. We're just sticking the boom out right now. It's 10:30.
Early start.
This is an early start for us, believe it or not. I was here at 6:10 this morning, parked on the street in the crane.
Oh man, I was still in bed.
But we really can't start making noise until 7. So I had to wait for the boys to get here, and then by the time we had all the plywood laid out and we were ready to back the crane in, it was like 9 o'clock. I maybe saved a half an hour by coming that early.
Yeah.
I don't know, is that worth it?
Where else do you have to be?
I'll show you the crane setup. These neighbors were nice enough to let us put the crane in their driveway. So we're actually doing the job for this homeowner here. And these people, I guess they kind of want the tree cut down too, but they're letting us put the crane in their driveway. So just to start out with here, we've got 140 sheets of plywood laid down. We've got our steel plates here on the heavy pick side. This one's all shimmed up here. We had to put more plywood over here because we actually had to crab walk the crane over. We couldn't be too close to this gutter because the counterweights will hit the gutter, but also we couldn't be too close that way because we had to have the outriggers all the way out. So I would say this crane fit in here absolutely perfect. What do you think, Spencer?
Yeah.
We couldn't really be this way anymore and we couldn't be that way anymore. Like, here's our really only access point, but it gets a little bit more complicated as you go into the backyard. There's a good, 2-foot step up here, retaining wall, and then a retaining wall the whole way back. So there's not really a great way to get this material down the hill. Is this the first time you've walked up to the tree?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's not giant, actually.
No.
It looks bigger when you're down there. So if you're standing down there, ground level with the grove, how much higher do you think this stump cut is than the concrete that the grove is sitting on? I was gonna say 20 feet.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So because this tree sits 20 feet higher than the crane, that makes it 20 feet taller. And
yeah,
I'd say it's probably 80 feet.
Yeah.
80 feet tall plus 20. So basically it's 100 feet tall and it's only 91 feet away. Now, I think that we could do this job with just partial counterweight, but it'd be nicer to have full counterweight because the tree is so tall and our landing zone is also kind of far away too. I think that I would like to have 170 foot of boom out, and in order to do that, it'd be nicer to have full counterweight. If you put 170 foot of boom out with this crane at 100 foot radius, I want to say it's only good for like 4,000 pounds with partial counterweight. But if we put 170 foot of boom out with full counterweight, then we're good for 10,000. So it's just better to be good for more weight.
Yeah.
So we're gonna cut this tree down, and then we're also gonna cut down this little oak here, this cherry, and this little oak. This guy doesn't want any trees hanging over his house, and he really doesn't like the cottonwood tree because I guess this thing just rains cotton and everyone's air conditioning units get plugged.
Yep.
And then I also noticed down the hill here that this oak tree has a broken top as well. So we're actually gonna cut this tree down and this lead off of this one.
Wow, okay.
We could do some sort of guess here for crane picks. We could probably do that whole center in one. So 1, 2, 3, maybe we could do 2. All right, so maybe 8 cuts for the cottonwood tree. And then I think we can do this tree in 1 cut. If you put some speed line slings to kind of secure that broken branch. 10, 11, 12 picks and we'll be out of here. I'd say 2 hours of crane picking. So it's 10:41. If that's the case, we'll probably have everything cut down in 2 hours, which would be 1 o'clock. It's November 20th and it's 44 degrees. That's pretty good weather, actually.
Yeah.
We're getting pretty lucky.
Yeah, I don't mind this kind of weather.
Yep. And we have
comfy.
one more big grove job to do tomorrow that's also full counterweight, and we're getting a power line de-energized. And then after that, we have no more grove jobs lined up. All right, well, thanks for following along with us on this project. Here we go. Perfect amount of clearance here. All right, we just cut the first little piece, and when we landed it way out there on the curb, it was 116 feet away. So today we're not going to be limited by how much we can pick right in front of us. We're going to be limited to what we can pick by how far away we have to land it. I don't know what that number is yet, but I think at 116 feet, we're probably gonna be good for around 8,000 pounds. So we're not gonna be able to pick any bigger than that, which would be perfectly fine. Next piece, or I should say tree, we're gonna pick this one in just 1 pick. 14,000 right here. Spencer, I think the boom tip is in the cloud. I like that. I can just do this every time. Okay. That was pick number 2. Okay, I figured out that my landing zone is 119 feet away, and at that distance, I can still pick 6,500. So as long as we don't go any bigger than 6,500, we should be fine. Now I'm pretty happy that I've got the full counterweight package on. Otherwise, we'd have to land these pieces a lot closer. One other kind of cool thing I'd like to mention is this customer actually found us on YouTube. Well, I came to the desk and I said, I think you're going to need to use a crane to do this. And I started pulling out my phone to show him some pictures, and he said, oh, I've already seen all your videos, and that's why I called you. So that's pretty cool. Pick number 3. Next tree we're cutting down is this little red oak tree right here with all the leaves on it. And then I think we're doing this one with the broken top next, and then we'll start working on the big cottonwood. And the boys have the ground cleaned up from the last branch already. All right, this next tree is 74 feet away. We're good for 13,200 pounds. There goes the wind. The wind's really blowing it, but my cable's at a huge angle already. Those leaves are like a big sail. You might want to tell those guys to get you those longer zip line slings, you know, the ones with the steel snaps. We're doing this tree with the broken top next. This is about as close as it gets to the crane. Because we do have 170 foot of boom out, we've had to boom up to a 76-degree angle just to pick this tree. And it's only 37 feet away from the crane. If we had a 2-part line, press this button here, we could actually pick 22,000 pounds right here. This is the bur oak tree with the broken top, and it's weighing in at, the entire tree is one cut, weighing in at 3,600 pounds. Actually, I thought it was going to be a little bit more than that, didn't you, Spencer? I thought it'd be at least 5,000.
It's a little breezy. It's looking good though. 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go.
this big old Cottonwood top is only weighing in at 2,300 pounds, which seems crazy, but it looks way bigger than that.
Tension, barely. Yeah, and you can boom up out of here.
All right, this piece is weighing in at only 1,600 pounds, and we're good for 11,500 out here. I'm loving the 170 foot of boom. Definitely a good choice. And the full counterweight. It's making it super easy to set these pieces down really far away.
Dude, I might need the 30, I might need the West Coast saw.
Two slings are doing all the work. Your long ones on the tips aren't really doing much. Beautiful cut though. So we have one more brush pick left. Is it all gonna fit in the jibber truck? And then these cherry trees here, we are cutting them all the way down.
That's looking really good. Just cable down right there. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, stop there. Yeah, maybe a little more. There it is.
Nice job. This one's weighing in at 2,500 pounds, and we're good for 9,000 out here. This customer can't help himself. He's getting after it. Nice work, Leslie. All right, so we've got the trunk left on the big Cottonwood, but we're gonna switch to a different sling setup for that trunk. So he's decided to cut these down as well instead of just trimming them. I guess there's some pretty bad splits in the branches. So we're gonna cut these down first while we still have this smaller sling configuration, and then once these are cut down, we'll go back over and get that trunk section out. stupid now. Only fresh coffee for my tree climber.
That's good.
There you go, sir.
Cheers. Nice.
All right, this is only 3,200 pounds.
That's good.
Was it over tensioned?
Not really. It lifted up a little bit.
Looking good?
Yep.
So these last two plates weigh the same amount as the big plate. These are 5,500 pounds a piece. So because it weighs the same amount as the big plate that has the Grove lettering on it, we can pick both of these up at the same time. Don't put your fingers in there. That was pretty smooth. Way easier to get it out than pull it in, huh? Just thought I would show the stumps up here on the hill. So here's the big, this was the bur oak with the broken top. Here's the 3 trees kind of leaning over the house. The 1 branch off the bur oak. And of course, the big cottonwood stump. He doesn't have to worry about any trees leaning over his house anymore. Now it's nice and clear here. All right, we got everything all cut down and cleaned up. Everything went pretty smooth. We just have a little pile of logs to load here, and we'll be out of here. It's 4:23. Big thanks to Leslie for letting us do the job. We
thank you.
We appreciate the work. How do you think everything went?
Very smoothly. Nobody got hurt. It looks great, and I'm very, very pleased. Anybody who's thinking about getting any tree work done, I highly, highly recommend these guys. They do excellent work, and they're very careful about what they do.
And you actually found us on YouTube, huh?
I did.
That's pretty funny. It just, the video popped up?
Yep. Sometimes, oddly, one will just pop in there.
Yeah.
And here it was you.
And then you're like, oh, where are these guys from?
Yeah.
And then it happened to just, everything worked out perfectly, huh?
Yep, exactly.
That's pretty cool.
Appreciate all the hard work, men. You guys do excellent work.
Thank you.
That was a lot of plywood to lay down and pick up.
Yes, it was. And a lot of thanks to my neighbor for letting us use his driveway.
Yep, big thanks to the neighbor, because we couldn't have done it without their approval of letting us pull the crane in there. Well, Thanks for following along with us on this episode. If you'd like to see more of this content, please like and subscribe, and we'll be sure to make more videos like this one. Thanks for watching, and have a good night.